All of this, what ended up happening last week, this operation that cleaned up Brazil, my friends. A moral boost, because people understand that at this moment we're living here, we're hostages to crime. And everyone knew it would be like this, after this guy got to the presidency the way he did, that these things would happen. It was obvious that with the national repercussion of everything that happened in Rio de Janeiro, the Supreme Federal Court would have to make a statement. Like they say, right? This time, they weren't even that forceful, right? They say they need to be forceful. But now things are getting tight. We're at the beginning of the week, it's Monday, and we're coming back strong here on the channel. President Donald Trump's lawyer. Don't think, my friends, that nothing is going to happen. It's already happening. Brazil will be. These groups, these criminal entities, will be portrayed as purists. Now it's already a fact. And I'm going to show you here Governor Claudio Castro yesterday at the Mass being praised by the people. Just so you have an idea, these things show every little detail, how finished they are, how defeated they are. Obviously, they need to hold the population hostage to continue their evil deeds. But the truth is being established. Hit the like button, it helps with engagement here. Coming back in full force with a lot of energy. A little week of vacation, right? My friends, I'm very happy to see you all again now, calmly, back to our regular schedule. Take advantage of it, come be part of our family. Guys, I'm putting it here in several videos. What do you have? I got it that in the stream Ferno creation, blah, the deplore, signal it, look, say, oh ho. Extremely useful and excellent for those who want to lose weight. You can see I'm showing images here months ago, 2-3 months ago. I had already managed to lose weight. The videos I'm showing here, I had already recorded. But today, October 23rd, I have already lost 18 kilos in 1 month and 20 days. That's why I was taking a while to make the videos. If you're there dealing with a little problem, sometimes being overweight, you know. Superb. Many people have used it and made progress. Of course, we also have to do our part, like cutting back on food. Trump's lawyer says that the United States will cooperate with state and local governments in tackling criminal organizations, even against Lula's wishes. And the same thing, look at what Trump is doing. The same thing Lula's doing here, Trump is doing there. Have you noticed Lula isn't saying much about it? He's not addressing the subject much, but who is? The people who are part of his government, and when I say people, you know very well, not just state ministers, but several entities. There. Since Lula won't act, thinking speaking up will damage his already lost reputation. And he never had it. He never had it. And he has to open that Conference of the Parties 30 there. Conference of the Parties 30 is under GLO Pará, Rio de Janeiro. No, he can't. He can't. So he sends those union guys, but not victims of society. They're little angels, and they pray holding hands. They're little angels, folks. It's absurd. And he stayed silent. And the same thing is happening with the President of the United States. He can't keep making statements all the time. Neither can Rubio, but President Trump's lawyer can. He can. Look at that. Let's stick to the facts here. Martim de Luca, yesterday, he was posting one message after another. If the Comando Vermelho had already been designated as a foreign terrorist organization by United States law, like Argentina and Paraguay did this week, Argentina and Paraguay have already cracked down and listed them. Exactly. This is the first step for the United States to also declare these groups as terrorists. And then Lula won't have a choice but to do it. When the United States takes a stand, they can't act. What would they get involved in? Just trouble. The United States already has military power near Venezuela. Instead of investigating the governor and the police officers who risked their lives facing a criminal army armed with drones, grenades, and military rifles, the main concern should be to ask a much more serious question. Who protected them, and why, folks? Instead of these authorities, not from the United States, I'm talking about the ones you're seeing here in Brazil. Being worried about the police officers and the governor's life, etc. The guys are worried about the criminals. Wonder why, right? Why is that? Because, right? Could it be these crimes happen because Lula's ministers can easily access those places? Let's remember that the vast majority of the people in these communities are good people. They are hostages, my friends. For those who aren't there, they are hostages. There's no other perspective. Just as we're hostages, and you know by whom, they are too. What if they don't vote for the candidate that these people here support? It happened, guys. There are several images in the United States once. Look at what he says here, that an organization is classified as a foreign organization. Anyone who obstructs efforts to dismantle it, whether by funding, facilitating, or politically protecting its operations, can be prosecuted for providing material support. As if it were a Hezbollah, a Hamas, Lula's party over there in Palestine, the Partido dos Trabalhadores of Palestine, a Hezbollah. These criminal groups as well. Now, imagine applying that standard in Brazil. Here, those who hinder cooperation and intelligence, block investigations, or undermine local law enforcement may find themselves at odds with anti-terrorism laws. Treating this as a transnational level threat instead of a local nuisance or political bargaining chip. If Comando Vermelho were a criminal organization, this wouldn't be a story about police lethality, it would be a story about state accountability. Because of the way organized crime managed to control large urban areas in Brazil, it was impossible. This is going to happen. That's a fact he stated. And what about the United States government? Governor Claudio Castro asked for help. It will help state and municipal governments, and unfortunately for now, the federal government won't be able to. With these people, absolutely nothing will be done. Why do you think they got involved in this so quickly? We can say in this whole story, these big
personalities for
themselves, not for us. To try to cover everything up. It was one, then another, over there in Rio de Janeiro. Because Lula is he's already finished. Now, with this, he finished burying it. Look what he even added here. Argentina has just declared the Comando Vermelho a purist group. Alexandre de Moraes, who is now investigating the governor of Rio de Janeiro, the governor who did a cleanup, right, of those barbarians who are not Angicos. They are not Angicos. He's the one under investigation. What a reversal of values. Confront these same groups and be traveling to Buenos Aires to give a... He says Alexandre de Moraes is going to Buenos Aires. Will there be a Gilmar Palooza like Gilmar Mendez's events in Argentina now? And then President Trump's lawyer gave a tip here. Look, Alexandre de Moraes is now investigating Rio's governor for confronting that group. He is traveling to Buenos Aires to give a lecture on the rule of law at a university college in Buenos Aires. It sounds like a joke, but it's true. Read me, he took action, read me here. Look, it's here. Look, it's true. Read me. Alexandre de Moraes lecturing at an Argentine university. Guys, I was in Bahia just now. Do you know what we're speaking in Argentine? I even mentioned it in some videos. 80% of the people who were at the place where I was. I stayed in a hotel because I don't have a residence there in Bahia. Whenever I go there, I have to stay. But 80% of the people were Argentine. How is that relevant, Fabiano? The economic situation. when you have, in most places there in Bahia, more Argentinians than Brazilians, something's off. In other words, even locals can't be in those places, but outsiders can. A few years ago, it was different when I visited Bahia. Did you notice more Brazilians and fewer Argentinians during Bolsonaro's presidency? Millennial won there, resolved the situation, and is fixing things. So now basically we see in those places lots and lots and lots of Argentinians. Nothing against them, for God's sake, never that. But I mean that over there the situation is good. Here it's terrible, you know? That's what I'm telling you. When things are bad for Brazilians, they're great. They're great for those people who don't care about us at all. When things are good for Brazilians, like under President Bolsonaro, things are actually bad for them. You can see what happened with Globo. And the guy here, right? He has a great personality and talks about that. Millennial, check out what's happening there. But then he said, I don't know about the governor. The government of Argentina is aware that Alexander de Moraes, appointed by OFEC, that is, by the Magnitsky Law, is responsible for investigating those who oppose organized crime and plans to visit the country. Look at what he wrote here. He's President Donald Trump's lawyer, and Gilmar Mendes also got involved. He mentioned this situation. Look who's going there to promote the event. Based. So he sent this message in that Metropolis report, which mentioned Gilmar here. And also Moraes. Argentina, we have to be thankful. They're doing what should be done here. Comando Vermelho members were just arrested crossing into Argentina, since many are already fleeing there. They were all arrested. Look at that. Several arrested. The guys aren't giving criminals any leeway. It's a huge reaction. And Governor Claudio Castro, folks. Very happy, huh? I'm really happy with the work Claudio has been doing. Which governor? Visits police officers in Operation Containment. He went up to the police officers. That's really cool, really cool. It gives full support to injured police officers and their families. Let's go.
You really don't know all of Brazil, do you? I talked to elogiando you.
Yesterday.
Me with the...
Sir, we've already run into each other.
Tried to, you guys added...
Something really professional.
It's for you to see. It's for you to see, eh?
It's about to break, eh?
The shit is yours, duh.
All of you, it's all of Brazil, like we said.
I see. I'm not sure I can leave it due to the background music.
I give the police officer work, and how vital he is to win over society. Sadly, some still believe this is a gang or terrorism.
This?
It's not a gang. That was 25 years ago, so this is a national hero.
Did you see Claudio's comment? It's not a gang, it's terrorism. Just clarifying. You guys are seeing these images here. Let me talk to you, I'm not seeing them. Honestly, I'm not saying anything, because I also like Governor Claudio Castro. I don't see it. He's not doing politics or making this video and showing these images just to show off. Look, since I'm gaining thousands, actually millions of people on social media, the people support me, so let me show it and do my politics. No, I'm honestly feeling right here in my heart that he's doing this from the heart. He went to visit the police officers. Of course, he needs to show Brazilian society that he's the governor and all, right? That he doesn't abandon his men, those he commands. Those he commands, who are our brave police officers, our honorable police officers. And he's with them, look.
The whole of Brazil is applauding, I can feel it.
Brazil?
The whole
Brazil, Governor. The whole Brazil, the whole Brazil.
People across Brazil are talking about the police.
He caught the world's attention.
I came here to visit you. I'm going to Mass now. I'm gonna pray for your lives so that you can be home as soon as possible and working. So already,
No one is going to stop, guys.
I'll start
Thank you.
for me.
No, honestly, I don't see that. Him wanting to show off, wanting to look right. How he's not genuine. And when it's from the heart, people, my friends, they know how to see the truth. The governor went to mass. Look here, look. The whole church. The whole church. This governor deserves all our applause, all our applause, all of it, all of it. To face not just these organizations. The sky is falling down from these entities. Oops, hold on, the guy messed everything up. He deserves all our support, all our support. To do what he's doing, what he did, to face it head on. Guys, Alexandra de Moraes is arriving now in Rio de Janeiro. No, not at Guanabara Palace. You're coming with us to the NA where we handle operations. Few people have that kind of courage. I think the governors understood that it's time to put a stop to this. And the turnaround here in Brazil is going to come through them, okay? And that's a fact. The big turnaround here in Brazil is also going to come through the governors. Because they exercise power over the states, and they exercise power over the state police. Last week, we saw governors offering police officers from other states to help. They're helping the governor, right? Giving support. Logistical, material support. Yes, it's quite an effort. Look at what we're seeing here. I've always said here on this channel, police officers, my friends, are guided by honor, by honor. Oh, but I know a police officer there, I don't know what. The good ones should never pay for the bad ones. All professions have some issues caused by, say, certain percentages here and there. Every profession. But as for the police officers, I guarantee you, they don't mess with good people. If I tell you that in my life, I've only been stopped by the police a couple of times. Just routine traffic stuff to check. If my paperwork is current and all that, those checkpoints. I always walked everywhere in my city. I mention that a lot, right? I always walked everywhere in my city, ever since I was a kid, because it used to be much more peaceful. You walked around the city. I was never stopped. Never, never. A police officer can tell if someone is good or bad. That's a fact. Share this video. I'm really happy with the governor's situation. You'll help a lot by supporting him. Comment that I'm glad to return to the regular schedule. I couldn't wait to get back home, my friends. I went through some tough times on that plane ride back. Man, let me tell you, oh my God, man, thank God, man. He's always on our side. Let me tell you, here in my city, it's been raining a lot these days. And the plane, my friends, has a lot of turbulence, right? It arrived there in Bahia, under that blazing sun we know so well and all. It was a smooth flight. But look, when it got here to the state of Sao Paulo, my God, so much rain, the plane was shaking like this. I was shaking and grabbed Hercules' hand while he hugged me. A father can't show fear to his son, right? In certain situations. I'm truly terrified of airplanes, and everyone knows it, even though I think they're beautiful. Absolutely wonderful, but you're inside a can. Of that thing, closed in, my God. But the pilot was really very skilled, especially when it came time to land here in Lupreto. There was a lot of wind and all. He had to speed up. Everyone on the plane felt it. When it was time to land, he had to accelerate. I don't know how he did it. I let out a scream like this. Ah! Luckily, we had already arrived. I much preferred to ride my little motorcycle. Driving isn't always possible. In Bahia, it's too far from my house. We need to visit our family members. I'll return soon with more updates on the Pais of Filios channel, Fabiano Giguet.